Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to rant again. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and mostly because I was kind of busy, kind of wasting time. And yeah, I just kind of want to talk about some random stuff. Um, Mostly about, kind of what the channel has been trying to do. Well, I was trying to do with the channel in the past few months. Which if someone was paying attention, noticed like a lot of videos. Like I think one video a day for 2 months or about 3 months total. And mostly that was just me processing a lot of videos at once and just outputting them, uploading them. It did take me a lot of work actually to get through these videos because the format of the way I was recording some of these videos is absolutely tragic to look at and made it really hard to even process them. And what I was doing I was like, okay, I could try a few stuff. So I started uploading a lot of videos. Yeah, so I've been sort of experimenting with the channel most of the time, and probably noticed if you've been paying attention to the channel, there's a lot of videos that have been released at this stage, and it was a bit random. Processing the videos did take a lot of time, mostly because of the way some of those videos were recorded. Did not really help. But that's kind of probably the most productivity that has been related to this channel that's been going on. However, I'm not exactly happy with how it went. Uh, Also because it ended up attracting the type of attention that I don't want to attract to this channel. And mostly I just want to be able to talk about stuff and have a conversation with someone that is yeah, not going to jump into the emotion immediately. That ended up being a track. But I mean, the good thing is that YouTube does enable me to, you know, uh, just sort of block the comments of people. So I mean, once someone show up that sign of being an idiot, I'm just gonna block them. Uh, so yeah, I mean that's in terms of the YouTube channel. In terms of the like other projects, there's not much work has been done to the projects other than the Obsidian setup, and there's been some changes to the Obsidian setup, and the biggest main one, which I haven't talked about in a long time, is that let me find the folder for the project. So here it is. So the scripts has been split into multiple smaller ones. So it used to be that it's just one monolithic script. It's like this one over here, and it was like about 3,000 lines. I think the script is very well documented. It's it does what it needs to do. It does its job, but it's just too big, and reading through it is just if you are one of the rare cases that read through it. It's just gonna make your life fucking hell if you try to modify it. So what I did, I decided to split it into multiple um sort of scripts, and that it by itself I think took me at least 2 weeks to do, even though like you could say, oh, you already have the functions over there. But yeah, that required some changes. It even needed like I needed to add a plugin for that to work correctly. Uh, so yeah, that was another thing that I did. Visually, like this area has changed the dashboard, I call it, or the homepage, and I just changed my card sort of display. It used to be that sometimes you, what do you call it? You get like some spaces that are not occupied. Sometimes you get um what do you call it? They're not all aligned to the edge of the available space. Uh, Sometimes you find more space in between two cards, or like between the first two cards, and the other card is just the least amount of space possible. I decided that I didn't like that look anymore and just change it a little bit. No lines overflow anymore, so that's what's going on. If there's only one card, that one card will occupy the entire row type deal. So I don't know, just exercising some CSS knowledge. It just looks more uniform. Uh, what else I've been? I have been trying to get back into studying. I've hold up, let me go to books. I've been trying to go back into learning C again. I've been kind of doing some of that. Uh, it's not going well. I'm slow as hell. But it's been going on. Um, Noticing that my performance at that is really not as good as I would like it to be. And not sure exactly what the problem is, but yeah, I'm stuck at the uh, tutorial introduction over here. Uh, this is where I've been. I'm supposed to start with functions soon. I'm liking the book, it's just I'm not doing as much of the actual reading and exercising. And realize I need to actually ramp that up a little bit, like a few notches. And every time I get to like reading or learning, whatever it is, notice that just start going back to this page and like change something, for example, or change something in the script. Or I notice that there's some function in the script doesn't work and now it has to work. I keep getting distracted with these things. That's like the gist of it. But yeah, I had a job. I did get a job. Probably, if anyone watched some of the videos before, I got a job for about 3 months and didn't last very long, sadly. But long story short, it was supposed to be like a probation period, and typically after the probation period, sorry, during the probation period, your pay is a little lower than the expectations, sometimes a lot lower. And in my case, it was quite a lot, actually. And after that, if they decide they want to keep you in the company, because such a fucking honor, isn't it? Um, you pay the expected amount. They decided to, I guess, tell me to fuck off, and they didn't want to keep me in the company, so that was it. I still managed to get a graphics card out of it, so I think maybe it's worth it. But would like to get more out of that. So I'm again at the hunt for jobs, and I think I'm gonna be making more jokes again about me being unemployed or something. I don't know. Was interesting actually during the job because I learned a few things here and there, but was it a large impact? I don't think so. They managed to keep a sleep schedule for a while, and I think that was one of the few good things. I mean, recently I've been talking with Tom about similar stuff with the learning thing. I feel like when I went to university, it just like tanked. Just didn't want to do it anymore. When I feel on reality is supposed to be the opposite way around. You're supposed to go to university and, seeking knowledge should be at the priority when you go. But sadly, like when you go to university, it's not that way. Uh, the main focus is that uh, what do we need to learn to get a job? And I mean, funny enough, we still don't get a fucking job. It didn't help me as much getting a job, really. That was it. There's not much projects that I worked on. I been trying to go back into hosting my own, like, I don't know, stuff. Mostly just hosted Minecraft. Like the website I made originally to be like to function as some sort of portfolio, like the simple Obsidian web app. Sorry, the simple web app. It's just been abandoned at this stage for 2 years, and it's not launched at all. As it cannot really access it. It's just not there. And, I think I want to go back to that. Like, maybe I can go back and work at like the React plus Next simple web app and see what I can do, like what I can add to it. Can I make it more efficient, more usable, more accessible? Because I believe I can probably do all of that and make it look better. It's probably going to take me about 2 or 3 months to finish it. But I also want to keep, learning this, like C programming. The whole project is going to be basically just JavaScript, and I already know JavaScript. If there's no like new concepts that I don't understand about JavaScript, usually will take me about anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 hours to understand. It's not going to take me very long, and I've been putting off learning, uh, like some form of low-level programming for a while now, and I'm kind of getting into it, kind of not. Like the way it goes is just I do some studying for 1 or 2 days, and I stop for like 1 or 2, and then go on back and forth. So, and eventually I stop. Like a while ago, it used to be like something I would do every day and wouldn't have much problem doing it. I don't know if I'm just getting distracted. I don't know if probably need to get off the internet, and maybe I'm doing too much time on the internet on like YouTube or something like that. Because I still like listening to stuff, videos or podcasts. Recently, my favorite has been the Andrew Huberman podcast. Uh, really, really nice information. Mostly about sleeping and related topics, because I have problem with sleep. Yeah, and I just wanna, I guess, go back to the main point, which is like I need to focus on gaining knowledge. One area is, for example, is another one is philosophy and religion, and I'm doing better, I would say, than the last year in terms of how much do I what do you call it, practice my religion. I'm doing that much better. I think it has a good effect on me in general. um, that for me it doesn't matter. The good effect is not necessarily the thing I want. Uh, it's one of the things I would like to have, uh, but it's not the thing that I'm concerned with the most. And I want to also pursue more knowledge in that field. I want to be more authentic to my beliefs, if you will. And that's been thing I've been thinking about again recently. It's just sort of like me being more authentic towards what I say that I believe in. If I actually am willing to go out there and verify those beliefs. all I could say is that I'm pretty sure, I'm like almost certain that the information I need is there. It's just I haven't gone for it. Uh, that's one of the things I want to do. I think after a while of, you know, sort of like having discussions or having debates or whatever it is with, just random people online, and it's probably not a good thing in general because sadly, from my experience, that the random people online is, to put it nicely, they don't really know how basic principles of logic work sometimes. Uh, Basic concepts, if you want to call it, whatever it is. Um, Sometimes, what do you call it? They cannot really discuss some topics. Um, they take things at face value and they don't understand. Um, when is it time to be, what do you call it? That things need to be backed up, or when is it time for things to be proven in some way, shape, or form? Uh, what things actually matter to a discussion versus what doesn't. Now I've been guilty of that myself in the past uh few years of my life. I do pay much more attention to that, and I make sure that I do not commit, these mistakes when having a discussion. But also it's just I see signs of dishonesty most of the time. And it's just sometimes frustrating to talk to these people. I remember like talking about something like that with Tom before. Is I want my own sort of community. Uh, you know, yeah, we like me and Tom, we like to joke, we like to, mess around, we talk a lot of shit. But we also like really like talking about topics that matter in depth. Um, Regardless of if me and Tom agree on or disagree on these topics. I mean, that's, there's definitely a lot of topics that I disagree with Tom about, and I'm pretty sure we discussed that before. Um, but agreement is not necessarily the goal for us, for both of us. It's just that, um, here's what I think, here's why I think it, as opposed to this is what I think is right, and this is what I think you should think is right. And if you don't, then I'm not gonna talk to you. Um, yeah, and that's it. So I would like to have like that online community, maybe a maximum of 20 people. I'm willing to go up to 100 max. Um, but that kind of mentality, uh, you know, a specific type of people I'm looking for is uh, people who are like driven to either exercise thoughts and or improve skills. Uh, where the goal mostly is that hey, we're all learning one thing or another, not necessarily all doing the same thing, and keep track of uh, our progress. Maybe holding each other accountable in that form, and I think Dom is gonna try and do that in terms of videos. It's like, have you been uploading any videos? I'm like, no. um, but yeah, in terms of like reading more material, learning new things, keep on learning things, discussing stuff. Of course, we like to play games on. I mean, kind of the nerd type. I'm not sure if that is the right description. But yeah, this is what we're looking for: people we can talk to and hang around with, and not yell at us for doing wrong think, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure where that's gonna come from. Um, it doesn't seem like I'm having much luck. I've been also like doing some VR chat in a while, which I haven't done in a while, and yeah, I'm just as disappointed. I don't want to go back there again. It's it's just still a waste of time in that terms, because the ratio of success is just not worth it, uh, sadly. And we've had so many encounters. I've had some encounters recently. It's just bizarre to me. Uh, and this is like one of the reasons why I'm so strict about the people I add, uh, either to my friends list, or at least used to be strict about who I add to my friends list, or either to my hmm, Discord server, which is supposed to say small. And yeah, that's just recently I had an encounter that is just interesting to say the least. And reinforced some of my beliefs, if you want to call it that, sort of proving my point, is that a lot of people, especially on these types of communities, are just not ready to do that. Uh, well, that was it, I think, mostly. In the future, I think maybe by the end of this month, I might start working on the simple Obsidian web app again. Sorry, simple web app. I have another project in mind, which is um making some form of plugin where you would allow you to publish parts of your Obsidian setup, maybe as a plugin to my simple web app, but uh, I'll have to look into it. Sort of make the whole thing accessible. Uh, like imagine having a, what do you call it? It's like Office 360. It's like you can access the documents by multiple people, multiple devices from multiple places over the network and edit it at once. And basically sort of make things easier. But what I really want to do is that sort of be able to expose all of this to the web, to the app, and make it so like can add permissions to specific files, specific tags, specific directories, so that people will be able to read them. Maybe even read and write permissions. That's been an idea that that I had in a while, and I'm not sure if it's possible, but I'll look into it eventually. Because I kind of want to be able to access my vault from everywhere. Um, like some form of way to sync the vault on all my PCs. But also, I'm thinking I could just host it on one device and just access it from multiple devices. So that's another idea. There are plugins that help do that in Obsidian, but I don't want to use them. Um, they're cool. I think the ideas are cool. I think yeah, there's this project that I remember looking into a few times. I think there's one called Remotely Sync and there's one called Remotely Save. So this one is an offshoot of where basically it would save the changes over the network, but that also requires that all the devices always connected to the network as they edit things, and that could introduce some corruption. And the idea I thought of is that why not host the whole um, the whole thing on one device, treat it like just a normal web application, add some authentication layer, and even allow multiple users to access it if you want. Why not? And definitely is going to take a lot of work, but could be worth it. Because the problem with syncing is that basically I have a lot of duplicated information. Um, Now, yes, it would be nice if everything is always on local storage, but um, I could add like a feature of what things are supposed to be local storage and what device, or can be locally stored. Some so things like that is what I've been thinking about. Uh, and this makes it sort of because I'm always fucking home. If I want to edit something and I don't want to be on my PC, I can just edit it on my phone or on some other device. Maybe if I had like a small laptop, small tablet, so on. Just access the document I want to access and get it over with. And instead of just, oh, I forgot to write this thing, let me get up and turn my PC on and roll it like 3 a.m. It's too early, too late. Probably shouldn't be doing that. This will make things a little easier for me to actually go into and document. I used to, a while ago, use something called SyncThing, and for the most part, it worked really nice. It's just used a lot of power when you try to use it on phone. Uh, it was also a problem every time to set up when I like reinstall my system on PC because I do that relatively often. But yeah, so there's some things that I want to work on, mostly just focus on the studying and learning part and surround myself with people that with similar mindset, not necessarily similar beliefs, and just talk about it. You know, things that we do. Maybe mess around and play some games every now and then because, everyone gets bored. So, that's been mostly what's going on. Of course, I'm going to continue trying to find a job. I'm going to continue, like, trying to learn, trying to build the habit again. And we'll see from, I think, maybe a month from now, maybe I'll make another video, another simple rant. It's been a while since I made any of these. I'll see you then.